participation in the budget process by organizational bodies and persons here present. The audience has been drawn from traditional and community leaders, religious leaders, professionals, trade groups, NGOs, youth organizations, persons living with disabilities, and the organized private sector, in order to engender confidence and buy-in towards the developmental objectives of this administration. The success of this administration rests on the cooperation of all and sundry, while assuring you that concerted efforts will be made annually to improve our tax revenues in order to meet citizens' expectations and improving overall service delivery by agencies of government. We seize this opportunity to appeal to everyone to fulfill their civic responsibilities through the regular payment of taxes, obeying of traffic rules, be it environmentally friendly, and above all, be security conscious. Suffice to say, at this juncture, divisions will be expected to present programs and projects that are beneficial to the people and of utmost importance towards improving the socio-economic well-being, wealth, and critical development of each division. Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are of the view that the success of this administration rests on the collaboration of all. Let me, on behalf of the Lagos State Government, the Honorable Commissioner, the Permanent Secretary, management and staff of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, welcome you all, our distinguished personalities, to this all-inclusive Budget Consultative Forum and wish us all successful deliberations. Thank you and God bless. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe.
Thank you so very much, the special advisor. Please, can we one more time just appreciate you? Thank you. Thank you. Kabiesi, you know when you always give us talk at times, Kabiesi. I remember when we came to the palace the other day with those people from the UK. Someone was asking that when someone is an alumnus of Leicester University, you're an alumnus of Manchester University, and one is equally an alumnus of University of Lagos. Combination Kabiesi, you remember, sir? So when I came to see something like this, you know, before me, and I keep asking, no wonder, and I keep saying, oh, I can understand. For someone who has served in various capacities, Kabiesi, serving as one time as a senior special assistant to the governor on economic matters, and beyond that, leading a very vibrant corporate entity called KPMG. KPMG is a brand on its own. And for such a person to be a DG, that today, at that time, sir, Kabiesi, that time to be a DG of a worldwide investment company, and today we can see Lekki Free Trade Zone in place. Want to get special advisor, public-private partnership to the governor. Okay, so that today, I said to him yesterday, that is not true, sir. He is sitting as the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. When a man is good, a man is good. Wherever you are good in, we are proud to say you are good in it. So it is our joy and pride to say that today, Kabiesi, you have your son, the new Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget in Lagos State. His only person, Mr. Okwe George. Honorable Commissioner, sir, it's a great honor to want to ask you to please come and present your presentation. Oh, right there, sir. Oh. Kabiesi, gbogbo Gẹ̀ẹ́sì lẹ ti ń gbọ́ látàárọ̀ Kabiesi. Ṣùgbọ́n arábìnrin kan wà báyìí Kabiesi, wọ́n fẹ́ túmọ̀ gbogbo ohun tá a ti ń sọ lédè Yorùbá. Kabiesi o.
Just before that, quickly acknowledge this person. This person.
ẹjọ kábíyèsí wọn ní kí n tún sáré ṣe léyìí ní sà bí wọn ṣe ń wọlé mo rí pé ọ̀gá ń wọlé bọ̀, and ọ̀gá is a lawyer if we care to know, a retired director in the Lagos State Ministry of Justice, but today, to the glory of God, a royal father as a king. It is my honor, Kábíyèsí, Honorable Commissioner, to graciously recognize His Royal Majesty Aláyélúwà Ọba Samiuddin Orimadegun Kasali, the Adeboruwa of Igbobo Kingdom. Kábíyèsí, Kábíyèsí, Kábíyèsí. Your boy is still Kábíyèsí. I'm still loyal, sir. I'm to also recognize the presence in absentia of His Royal Majesty Aláyélúwà Ọba Richard Abayomi Ogunsanya Olubeshi of Ibeshi Kingdom, but represented here today by High Chief Alade M. Joshua Odofi of Ibeshi. Babawa Akinyi Pupo, sir, you are most welcome, sir. Motuki Babawa Aláyélúwà Ọba Adeoriyomi Akim Oyibo the second, Obateru of Egbin Kingdom. Kábíyèsí, if you're here. Oh, Kábíyèsí, my great honor, sir. Good to see you again, Kábíyèsí. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Mo kí gbogbo lé o, mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn kábíyèsí wa tó wà níkàlẹ̀ pé kábíyèsí o, kádé pẹ́ lórí, kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀, káṣẹ́ ó pẹ́ lẹ́nu o, ìrùkẹ̀rẹ̀ adábẹ́rẹ́, àwọn olórí àṣìṣẹ́ ìbí, ẹṣin ọba jókòó pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́, kábíyèsí o. Èyí ni ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíní káàbọ̀ olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lẹ́ka ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọlálékan Hafiz Balógun níbi ìpàdé ìfikùnlukùn lórí ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná 2024 tó ń bọ̀, èyí tó ń wáyé lónìí ọjọ́bọ̀ ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹsàn-án ọdún yìí lẹ́kùn Ìkòròdú. Olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún gómìnà kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀, ní pàtàkì jùlọ kọmíṣánná wa, akọ̀wé àgbà wa, gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọba aláyélúwà tó gún wá síkàlẹ̀, ẹ̀yin lóyè, ẹ̀yin baálẹ̀ ọkọ̀ ìlú, ẹ̀yin ẹgbẹ́ oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti oníṣòwò, ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, ẹ̀yin oníròyìn àti gbogbo ilé lápapọ̀ síbi ìpàdé àpérò gbogbogbò fún ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná ẹlẹ́ẹ̀karùn-ún irú rẹ̀ tí ìṣàkóso ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀, tí ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná nípínlẹ̀ Èkó sì jẹ́ agbátẹrù ètò náà. Wọ́n ní ètò yìí jẹ́ àlàkalẹ̀ tí ó fìdí ojúṣe ìjọba múlẹ̀ láti fi kàn sí tonílé tẹlẹ́mù láwọn ẹkùn márààrún tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pín sí, kí ẹ̀yin alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ bá lè ní àǹfààní láti kópa nínú ètò ìṣúná gbangba làṣáátá, èyí tí kò ní ẹja bákan nínú tó sì tún jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ètò ìṣúná ọdún tó ń bọ̀ yìí jẹ́ èyí tí a fi sórí ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti àwọn olùgbé inú rẹ̀ nípasẹ̀ pípèsè àwọn ohun èlò léṣẹ́wọ̀gbẹ́ tí yóò bá ìlànà ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àsìkò yìí mu, èyí tí yóò dá lórí pín ire láre ọláńlá àti ìdàgbàsókè àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn ẹkùn tí ó wà nípínlẹ̀ Èkó fún ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn. Wọ́n ní ètò yìí jẹ́ ìmúṣẹ ìlérí ìṣàkóso ìjọba alájùmọ̀ṣe ti gómìnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ sáà kejì ìṣàkóso ìjọba rẹ̀, níbi tí ó ti fọwọ́ akígbáyà pé àwọn yóò ṣe iṣẹ́ takuntakun láti jẹ́ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tayọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìpínlẹ̀ kan gbòógì tí ìbọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin ti rí ìdíjókòó àti èyí tí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé rẹ̀ gbóúnjẹ fẹ́gbẹ́ tó sì tún gbà wọ bọ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé síwájú sí pé àwọn òpó atọ́nà ìdàgbàsókè èyí tí ìṣàkóso tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí yàn láàyò tí a mọ̀ sí SIMS, tó túmọ̀ sí ètò ìrìnnà àti ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀, ètò ìlera àti àyíká tó wuyì, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé, sísọ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó di àwùjọ àpèwáwò ìgbàlódé, ètò ìdárayá àti ìṣe ìjọba. Wọ́n ní wọ́n sì tún ti ṣàfikún rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìkópa ará ìlú, ìfẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ takọtabo àti ṣíṣe àmúlò àwọn ọ̀dọ́. Wọ́n ní ètò ìṣàkóso ìjọba gbé kájọgbé yìí kò ní yọ ẹnikẹ́ni sílẹ̀ yálà nípasẹ̀ ipò àwùjọ, akọ̀ǹbábo tàbí ọjọ́ orí. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ìdí rẹ̀ rèé tí ìjọba fi ń kàn sí ẹ̀yin ará ìlú kí wọ́n tó gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kankan, ní pàtàkì jùlọ láti fi tó ẹ̀yin alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ létí bí ìmúṣiṣẹ́ ètò ìṣúná ìdajì ọdún ṣe lọ sí, bí omi ṣe pọ̀ tó lámù fún ìjọba lórí ìṣúná rẹ̀ ọlọ́dọọdún pẹ̀lú àfojúsùn àwọn kọ́kọ́rọ́ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé bíi owó epo, èlé orí owó, ọ̀wọ́n gógó ọjà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, ètò àpérò yìí pèsè àǹfààní láti fojú níjú fikùnlukùn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀yin ará ìlú láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn ohun tí ẹ fẹ́ jẹyọ nínú ètò ìṣúná gẹ́gẹ́ bí ipá ìjọba bá ṣe ká wọn sí. Wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú pé ètò yìí jẹ́ ti gba ẹkẹ́ tí ń fọwọ́ ti lé àti ti gba aláàmù tí ń fọwọ́ ti ògiri. Èyí ló ṣokùnfà bí a ṣe ṣe ní ojútáyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀yin aláyélúwà ọba aládé wa gbogbo, ẹ̀yin baálé ọkọ̀ ìlú, ẹ̀yin olórí ẹlẹ́sìn gbogbo, ẹgbẹ́ ọlọ́jà, ẹgbẹ́ oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, ẹgbẹ́ oníṣòwò, ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, ẹgbẹ́ àwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ẹ̀yà ara, ẹgbẹ́ àdáni àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nítorí àṣeyọrí ìṣàkóso ìjọba yìí nílò ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbogbo wa. Wọ́n ṣèlérí pé àtúnṣe yóò bá ìlànà ètò ìpawówọlé sápò ìjọba lọ́dọọdún kí ìjọba bá lè túbọ̀ dángájíá nínú ojúṣe rẹ̀ sí àwọn ará ìlú. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Balógun kò ṣàìrán wa létí òwe àwọn baba ńlá wa tó sọ pé ọbẹ̀ tó dùn owó ló pa á àti pé ẹnu fìfo kì í dún yànmùyànmù. Èyí ni wọ́n fi gbà wá lámọ̀ràn láti máa san owó orí wa déédéé sápò ìjọba. Bákan náà, wọ́n tún rọ̀ wá láti máa bọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin ìrìnnà ọkọ̀, àlàáfíà àti ìbádọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ àyíká wa, àti ní pàtàkì jùlọ ká má ṣe fi ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú ètò ààbò wa nítorí ojú ni alákàn fi ń ṣọ́rí, tójú tìyẹ́ sì ni àparò fi ń ríran. Lákòótán, olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì gómìnà kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí síbi ìpàdé àpérò gbé kájọ gbé yìí lórúkọ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, kọmíṣánná, akọ̀wé àgbà, àwọn alákòóso àti gbogbo àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pé a kú àpérò o, ẹ ṣeun pé ẹ jẹ́ wa, ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
Auntie, interpret Yorùbá o, ẹ wá interpret àtẹ̀wọ́, ṣé ó connect? Kabesi, we are moving on, but let me quickly recognize Baba wa Olóyè Ganiu Adékóyèjọ Ọmọ́táyọ̀, Baálẹ̀ Ewu Ẹlẹ́pẹ̀, Baba wọn lẹ wà ńbí, Akínyìn Baálẹ̀ ọkọ̀ ìlú, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìlú sà. We also recognize the National Youth Council of Nigeria Chairman, Lasoda, Mr. Cole Ebenezer. We understand you are here. We thank you. And Lagos Civil Society Participation for Development, LACSOP. We also want to thank you. May I, at this point, Kabiyesi, welcome to the microphone the numero uno of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, our own very there, Mr. Okpe George. Honorable Commissioner, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Kabiyesi, good morning. Kabiyesi, thank you very much. Please allow me to stand on existing protocols, but before that, just to say thank you and very welcome. Good morning to our dear fathers, Kabiyesi. And I know that, Kabiyesi, they've told me that you're always prepared when you come for this event, so I can see the big A3 file you have, so I know that we're going to get a lot of suggestions from you, so thank you very much. So good morning again, and just for us to, I also understand that he has another appointment, so we'll try and make it as quick as possible so we don't waste too much time. So for us, the whole idea is to be able to hear from you, understand what it is you want us to do. There's no point us sitting back in the office and trying to make budgets and estimates that don't work. So for us is to come, understand what is very, very important and germane in this area and take it back and try and ensure that we can implement that. I know over the years, which is why I alluded to the fact that over the years, it has been a very active region. Kabiyesi has always contributed to what it is he wanted for the development of this area. We're always taking it back. We've not finished everything. I can't come and say we've done everything, but we're trying our best. We'll get better. And we'll take away information from this forum, go back again, make sure we can put it in. And where we've started, we'll give an account of things we've started, we took in from last time, and where we are at this point in time. The presentation will take, this is the outline of the presentation we'll take. So we'll go through it in 7 parts. We'll try as possible to make it as thank you. So we'll try as possible also to make it fluid and seamless as possible. So the whole idea is for us to come and talk about what it is we want to do. Thank you. So why are we here? So we're about to commence our budgeting cycle for 2024. So we felt that, for us to be able to understand what it is the citizens want, we have to take it from a bottom-up approach. So we'll come, we'll listen, we'll have this forum. So we're having these forums in the various 5 divisions of the state. This is the third we've come to. We want to ensure that we can take your comments, go back, and also encompass what it is you want into the budget and into the projects. So, just a bit of stats on Lagos. Lagos, as we all know, is a huge mega city. We have over 25, 28 million people, depending on what numbers you look at. Now, for us, we're a huge economy. When they compare Lagos, we get compared to countries. So Lagos gets compared to Egypt, to Rwanda, to countries, but Lagos is a subnational, Lagos is a state. So we're hampered by our success, but we're not complaining. So for us, we know that we have to do more. We have to continuously try, and one of the things I always say is that the amount of roads we build, we cannot build ourselves out of the congestion in Lagos. We're too many in Lagos. But having said so, we need to ensure that we can provide the right sort of infrastructure that can help the development of Lagos. So, which is why you see that we've gone across various, we now have rail, we've invested heavily in the waterways, and then we're still continuously trying to upgrade and upscale our infrastructure with the building of roads. So, just some stats on Lagos. Lagos, the population we have, one of the fastest growing economies with GDP over 120 billion. We like to pride ourselves that Lagos is one of Africa's fastest growing economies. It's a safe city. We're building on that, on the structures we have, ensuring that it's a more resilient city, and hoping that we can continuously upgrade and continuously better the lot and the lives of our citizens and our people. So again, as I said, some more stats on Lagos. Just sustainable economic growth. We generate over 75% of its revenues independently. We know that for us to be able to do revenues, we need to ensure that we have the right sort of investment environment. So for us in Lagos, we know that investment, we attract the right sort of investment because we have a stable economy. We also have one of the things that I always say when I go to places that once we have fantastic people in Lagos, fantastic talent, we also have what we have that's better is that we have fantastic institutions. So you find that irrespective of who is at the helm of the institution at that point in time, the institution is built such that it can always maintain itself and it can continuously grow. So one of the things we pride ourselves on is, that's why forums like this help, because it's not the first time, it's continuous, and it shows that we engage the citizens and we also understand what it is they want, and we can try and develop and put that into our plans. So, touching on the journey so far. So this again tells us that it's not just a one-off process. It's a process that we go back as far back as 2021, 2020. We go back, we ensure that we look at our projects, we look at what we've done, and we get benchmarked as to where we are and what we've achieved. So from the 2021 to 2023 budgets, no one predicted COVID. No one predicted the downturn in the economy we've all seen. But one of the things I am happy about and proud about is that once we maintain a strong response. So one of the things that we're very passionate about is food security. So having said so, you'd find that Mr. Governor's agenda, his Teams agenda is now Teams Plus. So when we added Plus, the Plus takes into account things like social inclusion, making sure no one is left behind, youth engagement, gender equality. So it's more all-encompassing and ensuring that once we know that the main pillars which we've looked at, the transportation, the health, the key sectors of the economy, we can then ensure that social protection is very important and very key to us. So one of the things as I said, is that we've maintained a strong response. We've ensured that the economy is such that it's been able to sort of withstand the shocks, and that we've also ensured that we're trying to make sure that the ease of doing business in Lagos is a lot better and a lot more seamless. So we found that we've had to prioritize and front load existing ongoing infrastructure projects. The Massey Street Hospital, the Okwebi Link, just to mention some of them. We invested heavily in education. And one of the things we are happy to say is that whilst we've made these investments, we also ensure that we can track the investment. So if I take education, for instance, we've invested in education, but then we've noticed that our pass rates are much, much higher. We have much higher pass rates for our children in school now, so that can be tracked. So we know that where the investments we're making are paying off. Food security and safety, I talked about. Safety and security technology, we're now currently going around. If you drive around some parts of Lagos, you'll notice that there are some cables that they've been putting in and out of. So we're gridding the whole of Lagos now. We're trying to put fiber. So as of to date, I think we've done close to 3,000 kilometers. Now, what that would do for us is that whilst it helps us and makes us a more resilient smart city, we can also build on that. So things like security, we can ensure that we have the infrastructure to lay on top. So we have security cameras. And then it also helps us. So we can then get fiber to our institutions. So all the hospitals, the courts, rather than having people break up the road and hack, we can just put in the connects to the fiber that is in there. And at the end of the day, the hope is that we'll be able to get it into households. So at the end of the day, you can plug in you have your internet, you plug in, you have it in, as they have in various countries abroad. So that's what we're trying to do. We're currently at about 3,000 kilometers and of fiber, which we've gridded, and we're hoping that it would help us, and it would also bring down economies of scale and help us with costs, and ensure that we can provide these services at a better rate to our citizens. So for us, as I said, there's various things we've done. We've looked at ensuring that we have a robust and healthy growing economy. We've ensured that we've provided available world-class education and healthcare. We've talked about technology and ensured that we've been able to sort of provide the right sort of structures for us to have be a thriving megacity. So the 2023 budget, we're now currently going through a mid-year review. So we're currently going through a process of assessing ourselves and seeing where we've managed to hit our targets. Where we've not hit our targets, we can quickly look at it and say, what do we need to adjust and where do we need to pay a bit more attention to? So that's currently what we're doing. And then, the highlights of the budget that we are currently in now was to aggressively develop and upgrade and maintain our infrastructure. We've focused heavily on trying to create employment and enhance food security, improve civic participation, inclusion and cooperation in governance, leveraging on technology. And to talk about things like the creating employment and all, Lagos State has also invested heavily in the Employment Trust Fund. So we've tried as much as possible we know we've not reached and we cannot reach everyone, but we try as much as possible to ensure that we reach as many people as we can. Food security, as I said, is important, and human capital development is also important, And in terms of attracting investments, one of the things we like to look at and ensure that, for investments will only come to an area that it feels it's secure. So we ensure that when I talked about institutions, we ensure that we have the right sort of institutions that can withstand and help with making sure investment comes in. So for us in Lagos, we are rated the same as the sovereign in terms of our investments ratings. So we ensure that we know that people would come and invest in us because they know that the investment is secure. Lagos is a thriving economy. We have the right indices, and all our numbers from our budgeting and from our performance and our fiscal responsibility show that we keep to what it is we've budgeted and we've planned. So that has helped us in terms of being able to sort of attract the right sort of investments and quality investments. Lagos is fourth largest economy in Africa. We get compared to countries. The truth is we're still a subnational, we're still a state, so we're within the country, Nigeria. So a lot of, we find that whilst we at the rates we're growing, we're happy, we're pushing harder, but we know that we also have some economic highlights and economic effects that encompass all of us. So we have issues like, the fuel subsidy being removed, the effects in terms of our GDP, MPR policy, and the exchange rates and effects we've had on petrol price and subsidy. So it's just, we talked about the budget performance. So what this does for us is that we look at this and we try and track ourselves. So we try and ensure that at any point in time, we can say, this is where we are, this is what we've done, and this is how we can do it better. So it just helps us to be able to track. There's no point of us sitting down and not being able to sort of monitor ourselves and track ourselves. So that's what this slide speaks to. It just speaks to what we have in terms of the approved budget we had, where we are at this point in time, which is a mid-year, half-year, and we look at all the indices, and as I said, we're currently going through a review process now. So we'll go back where we need to make amendments, we quickly make amendments and ensure that by the end of the year, it should have performed optimally. Thank you. So looking at, we talked about the budgeting, why we're here. So we're here now to listen and understand and get information for what we need to do. So we'll then take this information and go back. Now, in doing that as well, we also have to look at the general macroeconomic and fiscal policies generally for the nation and Lagos as well. So we take that and we go back and we start to budget and we start to put that into our budgeting numbers. So this is just the budget performance for 2023, and then we look at what is macroeconomic outlook for 2024. So if we go to the slide, the next slide, that has the macroeconomic position, it just shows us where we are with things like our GDP growth rate, inflation, where we believe that we would be. Okay, so where we believe we would be for the next year, for 2024. So we have some various key sectors we look at, and we also have some assumptions we look at when we're trying to sort of create our budget forecast. So we anticipate that crude oil production is that we appreciate that our annual growth rate will continue to grow. So we have a projection of our growth rate of about 5%. We also benchmark to the production of oil. Now, you'd agree with me that if over the last couple of months, we've had various shocks and ups and downs in our exchange rate. So you'll find that at any point in time, even when you're budgeting, you have to ensure that what we budgeted for at a certain exchange rate a couple of 6 to 10 months ago is different for what we have now with the realities. So that's why we need to ensure that our systems are such that they are resilient and that we can withstand and also adjust as quickly as we can once we get shocks. Okay, so this is the same slide that speaks to that. So on this slide, one of the things that I also like to touch on is the fact that, when we have, one of the things we do well in Lagos is that we always plan and we plan well. So everything we do is based on a plan from a plan from a plan. So, we don't just wake up and decide, we want to do something today, and we just, it's all built on plans. So the Lagos State Development Plan, so it's a plan that goes up onto 2030. So right now, we're in phase 2 of the plan. And phase 2 of the plan has about 47 initiatives. Now, the whole plan in its own has close to 1,000 plus initiatives, but these 447 are of the second phase of the plan. Now, what we looked at is that we ensured that, in this planning, we need to go look at, now this plan, when the plan was created, there was wide consultation. We looked at various and every sector of the economy, and we tried to ensure that what was needed, we took it and we put into this plan. So on the second phase of the plan, which we're currently in now, we're trying to strengthen our economic and investment base, strengthen the ability to increase our competitiveness in certain areas. And then we want to commence implementation of long-term infrastructure projects. So projects like the Fourth Mainland Bridge, projects like the airports, we want to look at and start to commence that. We want to improve the efficiency of government services, so the ease of doing business. Now, we need to ensure that our planning permits are done on time. People can get planning permissions. People don't have to go from 4, 5, 6 various offices to get something done. So those are all indices that we use to mark and rate ourselves. And these are issues that have been put into the development plan, and we can track and ensure that we do and maintain and do better. So why are we here? We're currently now in the process of preparing for our 2024 budget. So one of the things that we look at, and I said, we have to ensure that our revenues, we can understand where our revenues are coming from. we can understand the sort of expenditure we have. So these slides just speak to what we see and how we envisage our budgeting to go for the next couple of years. So we look at we expect an increase in our capital receipts. We also, whilst for us in Lagos, we're lucky where we don't, once we get federal transfers and get federal, we don't rely on it. We rely heavily on our ability to attract the right sort of investments, and also we have a strong IGR base, which we're hoping to grow. And one of the good things of having forums like this is to ensure that once we can be held accountable, we can show that, you know, we're working, we know what we're doing. We can then come back, when we come back and we ask for citizens to pay the right sort of taxes and remittances, we get that because they can see that they're getting the service that they require for their tax dollars, tax nairas. So in conclusion, just to say that we're committed. It's the whole idea of a forum like this is to hear back from you. I'd alluded to the fact earlier that especially when we come to Ikorodu, we're always very glad and very happy because we know that KBS is very active and has, as I said, he has his presentation. And, you know, when we take it back and we look at it, it's actually always very detailed, you know. And whilst we know that we may not have been able to do all it is we said we want to do, having said so, we appreciate the fact that we can get the feedback and we can go back and we can then try and implement what it is required of us. So in conclusion, we hope that we've been able to sort of give you a fair idea of what it is, why we're here and what it is we're trying to achieve. Where I believe we're going to have breakout sessions after that would give us the opportunity to be able to hear and get finer details as to what you want. We can make these presentations available because I know it's better to read it at your own spare time to be able to digest it. So we can make that available. And just to say that, you know, another thing is that before I conclude is that in a lot of these things we do, you know, we have within the ministry, for instance, we have fantastic talent. We have people who have spent a lot of time being able to sort of develop these numbers and these figures. And one thing I'd say is that, you know, they always take the feedback, they always listen, and they try as much as possible to implement it. So I would say that once we go around, please feel free to ensure that you engage and let us know what it is you require of us, and we would hope we'll be able to attend and make the best of it. Thank you very much. So these are just some pictures of projects. You know, we ensure that once we come to forums like this, it's good for us to be able to show you what it is we've done so we can see. So these are some of the projects. So this is the Blue Line, which has been launched recently. I think for us, for a city like Lagos, it's gladdening to know that we finally have rail. Rail is working. The Blue Line has been launched. The Red Line is coming on stream in the next couple of months. So we're hoping that before the end of this year, that would also be functioning. We've built several stations, the iconic station in Marina, National Theatre, and Ikeja, Agege train stations. So those have all been built. The tracks are there. This is one that is very close and dear to us, the rice mill. Rice mill has started. We're hoping to be able to sort of continuously be able to, food security, as I said, is very key, very important for us. Agric is something that, agriculture is something that we have a very, very keen passion for within the state, and we're hoping we can continuously upskill. So this is the rice mill, which has started production. Our agripreneurship program, training of students under our agripreneurship program. Production of equipment, deep freezers, mud pumping machines, and generators to support farming clusters within the states. Production of, this is empowerment, supporting grinding machines, helping our farmers and our artisans as well. The tractors, which were purchased by Ministry of Agriculture to help our farmers and help our industries as well, our farming industry. Fire services, our emergency response services. So this is also something we're very proud of within the state. So we've invested heavily in our emergency response. Lagos is a huge city, over 28 million people. So being able to sort of cater for that amount of people is very important and very key. So our emergency response services we are up to the task, and we're constantly upgrading and upscaling our emergency response services. So this is the rehabilitation of the Obasekumade Road, which is, you can see. The Agric-Ishawo is ongoing. Also ongoing. So you see, so these are projects that, we can see, they're ongoing. From this, I'm sure from this process, we would have some more projects which will be given to us, or some more ideas which we will then take back, which by when we come back next year, we can then show how we've done on those ones, and we can show the completion rate. So these are renovation of classroom blocks in the technical college here, which has been completed. Construction of the administrative block at LASUTECH. And the lecture theatre as well, which is ongoing, construction of that 750 capacity lecture theatre. Lag homes, which Odolasa. Nagboa here, the resettlement center. And this, as we spoke about this earlier, so the equipment to artisans and to tradesmen. So it's something that we know that we have a huge informal sector, but we're trying to ensure that we can constantly upgrade and provide for our artisans and our tradesmen. Yes, so this is a distribution of palliative. So, we spoke earlier and we spoke about the fact that we've now moved from a themes to a themes plus agenda. So the plus, social protection is key in the plus. So, food security and ensuring that we can provide and maintain our citizens is something that we're very, very keen and very passionate about in the administration. Okay. So those are just some of the projects that we decided to show and highlight. By all means, it's not an exhaustive list. There are still other projects, but we felt it was important to just bring a few and show so we can give stewardship of some of the ones we've done, So, there's some as well that, are not there, which are, the Agric-Ishawo Road, which is almost complete. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu contractor has been mobilized to return to site and continue the work. The Bogo Bayegun is currently ongoing as well. So just to ensure that, we don't just come and we take back the feedback, and we try as much as possible to ensure that we can also give an account of what it is we're doing. So just to say thank you again very much. Thank you. I can see KBS is making some notes, so I know we're going to get some more. But thank you very much for your attention.
We one more time put our hands together to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for that presentation. I must, before we take the interpretation in Yoruba, I will want to recognize His Royal Majesty Alayeluwa Oba Bashir Aremu Shotongwa, the Sekumade of Ipakodo. Kabiyesi, you are most welcome. Kabiyesi, well, thank you. And graciously too, I must recognize the presence of the Permanent Secretary at one time, Ministry of Transportation, and today as we speak, Kabiyesi, your own son, the PS Ministry of Housing. He was PS Transportation, before now PS Housing. And Oga, you will go higher, you will soar higher by the grace of God. Mr. Olowo Shago, sir, we thank you, sir. My PS, thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. So, Kabiyesi, you have your Olori too now, sir, in the interpretation. Kabiyesi.
Mo kí gbogbo lẹ́lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Èyí ni ìgékúrú àgbékalẹ̀ kọmíṣánná lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná nípínlẹ̀ Èkó, ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọpẹ́ George, níbi ìpàdé àpérò gbogbogbò lórí ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná ìgbà ọdún lé mẹ́rìnlélógún tó ń bọ̀ yìí, èyí tó ń wáyé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ lẹ́ni ọjọ́bọ̀ ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kẹsàn-án ọdún tí a wà yìí lẹ́kùn Ìkòròdú. Kọmíṣánná kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ síbi àpérò yìí bíi ti ṣáájú, ní pàtàkì jùlọ wọ́n júbà gbogbo èèyàn ọba aláyélúwà àti gbogbo ilé lápapọ̀. Wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀ tún ti gùn lé ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná ọlọ́dọọdún ti 2024 pẹ̀lú èròǹgbà láti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná tó múnádóko. Ṣé gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ pé àgàn ni ètò àpérò yìí kò ṣeé dágbé? Èyí ló mú kí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ jákèjádò àwọn ẹkùn márààrún tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pín sí. Lẹ́yìn èyí, kọmíṣánná yànnàná àwọn ipò aṣíwájú ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti pegedé fi gbọ̀rọ̀ jẹ̀ka nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ àti ní gbogbo àgbáyé lápapọ̀ nípa ètò ọrọ̀ ajé rẹ̀ tó rú gọ́gọ́ tó sì tún ní kìmí. Wọn kò ṣàìfi ọdún yìn ọdún nípa ṣíṣe ìgbéléwọ̀n àwọn ètò ìṣúná ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti 2021 sí 2023 tí a wà yìí. Àbájáde èyí tí ó fi hàn gbangba pé òkè ní ẹmu ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ń rú sí nípa ṣíṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé tó kún àkúnyawọ́ lórí ìpèsè oúnjẹ lọ́pọ̀ yanturu, ìpèsè iṣẹ́, títẹ̀síwájú nínú ìpèsè àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn ìgbàlódé ní pàtàkì jùlọ lẹ́ka ìrìnnà, ètò ìrónilágbára àwọn ọ̀dọ́, ìpèsè ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti ètò ìlera ìgbàlódé tó tẹ̀wọ̀n lówó tí kò gani lára, pípèsè àǹfààní ìfẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ láàrin takọtabo àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òpó atọ́nà ìdàgbàsókè themes aláfikún èyí tí ìṣàkóso ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí yàn láàyò láti fi ṣe ọ̀pákùtẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn ètò ìlọsíwájú rẹ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀yin àgbábọ̀ ẹni àkìímọ̀ gúnmọ̀ tẹ̀ kí ilé ìwòrán má lẹ́mọ? Bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan dúnkokò mọ́ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé látàrí ìyọkúrò owó ìrànwọ́ epo bẹntiró, ọ̀wọ́n gógó ọjà, ìfìdírẹmi owó náírà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Síbẹ̀ nínú gbogbo ọ̀fìn àti ọ̀la yìí ni ọmọ pàǹdọ̀rọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tún ṣe ara bọ̀rọ̀bọ̀rọ̀. Kọmíṣánná ṣíṣọ lójú àwọn ojúṣe ribiribi tó sì sodo sípò ìjọba láti fi túbọ̀ mú ìdàgbàsókè tó lóòrìn bá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó nínú ètò ìṣúná ọdún yìí nítorí ó kù náà ní ìbọn ró. Díẹ̀ lára àwọn ojúṣe wọ̀nyí ni ṣíṣe àtúnṣe ìkópa àjọṣe àti ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ àwọn ará ìlú nínú ètò ìṣàkóso ìjọba, mímú ìdàgbàsókè tó fẹsẹ̀ rinlẹ̀ bá ètò ẹ̀kọ́, ètò ìlera àti agbègbè, ṣíṣe àmúlò àwọn ìlànà ìgbàlódé lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba, mímú àyípadà ọ̀tun bá ìlànà ìpawówọlé sápò ìjọba tí kò ní kọ́lọ́fín, fífa ojú àwọn olùdókòwò aládàáni mọ́ra fún ìbáṣepọ̀ okòòwò tó dáńtọ́ pẹ̀lú ìpèsè agbègbè olókoòwò tó máa májé wá, fífi àyè gba ìkópa àti ìrólágbára àwọn ọ̀dọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Wọ́n kí ọ̀rọ̀ wọn lẹ́yìn nípa fífi àwọn àtẹ àti òpó ìdóṣùwọ̀n ṣàlàyé àwọn ìsọ̀rí pàtàkì tí ètò ìṣúná ọdún yìí pín sí, ìdá tí ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn kó nínú ìdá 100 àti iye ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú owó náírà tí ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn gbà nínú ètò ìṣúná náà. Ṣé àríṣe la rí kà? Èyí ló mú kí kọmíṣánná túnṣu désàlẹ̀ kòkò lórí àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ tí ìṣàkóso gómìnà Sanwó-Olú ti gbé ṣe, èyí tí wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ àti àwọn tí wọn yóò tún tẹ̀síwájú lórí wọn. Díẹ̀ lára àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ wọ̀nyí ni ṣíṣe aṣọ lójú ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé aláwọ̀ aró lágbègbè Marina láti ọwọ́ gómìnà àti igbákejì gómìnà, ṣíṣí ibùdókọ̀ ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé lágbègbè Ìkẹjà, Agége àti National Theatre, iṣẹ́ òpópónà àti ibùdókọ̀ ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé akérò aláwọ̀ pupa tó ń tẹ̀síwájú, kíkọ́ ilé ẹ̀rọ yíyọ ìrẹsì ìgbàlódé lákọ̀parí sílùú Ìmọ̀ta tí iṣẹ́ sì ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹrẹu ní ìlà àkọ́kọ́, ṣíṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lábẹ́ ètò àgbẹ̀lọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, ṣíṣe ìpèsè àwọn ohun èlò ìrànwọ́ ìmúṣiṣẹ́ bíi ẹ̀rọ amúǹkandì tó jinú, ẹ̀rọ agbọ́n ẹ̀rọ̀fọ̀dànù, ẹ̀rọ ìlọta, ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún àwọn tó yan iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ láàyò, ìpèsè àwọn ọkọ̀ katakata ìgbàlódé sí ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọ̀gbìn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, ìpèsè àwọn ọkọ̀ panápaná ayárabíàṣá ìgbàlódé tí iye wọn jẹ́ 62, àtúnṣe òpópónà ọba Ṣẹ́kúmádé níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ìkòròdú, iṣẹ́ àtúnṣe abala kìíní òpópónà Agric Ìṣàwò Kọ́nú sí Arépo ń tẹ̀síwájú pẹ̀lú ṣíṣe àwọn kọnkéré bẹ́ẹ̀mídíje sórí afárá alátòlé ìgbàlódé, àtúnṣe òpópónà Ádámọ̀, Àkànó, Agùnfóyè, Lúgùsì tẹ̀síwájú níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ìkòròdú. Àtúnkọ́ àti ìsọdọ̀tun yàrá ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ 12 sí ti ìgbàlódé nílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga ẹ̀kẹ́ṣọ́ ọwọ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tó wà ní Ìkòròdú. Kíkọ́ gbọ̀ngàn ìdarí sílé ẹ̀kọ́ fásitì ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé tìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Kíkọ́ gbọ̀ngàn ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ńlá ìgbàlódé tó gba 750 akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níjókòó ẹ̀kọ́ ṣoṣo ní fásitì yìí kan náà. Kíkọ́ àwọn ilégbè alájà 3 ìgbàlódé tí owó rẹ̀ rọjú sí abala ti agbègbè Odò Ọ̀nọ́sà Àyàndélú. Kíkọ́ àgọ́ ìfiniwọ̀nsí ti ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lágbègbè Àgbọ́wá. Pínpín àwọn irinṣẹ́ ìgbàlódé láti fi ṣètò ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn 700 oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti oníṣòwò. Pínpín àwọn ohun èlò oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti oníṣòwò nípínlẹ̀ Èkó àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Púpọ̀ nínú àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe wọ̀nyí ni a ti ń ṣe àfihàn wọn lórí àwọn ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán tó wà níwájú wa. Lákòótán, wọ́n rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí gbogbo olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti dákun dábọ̀ máa san owó orí wa déédéé sápò ìjọba, nítorí tí bá àṣẹ ò bá ṣe kò sí ohun tí bá àlàfẹ́ ńlá kí òwe máa jẹ́ ti ẹ̀yìn àgbà o. Wọ́n ní ìjọba náà mọ̀ pé àwọn kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ka ojú ìlú lásìkò tí a wà yìí látàrí ìyọkúrò owó ìrànwọ́ epo bẹntiró, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ìjọba ti pinnu láti má ṣe dá àwọn ará ìlú dá bùkátà wa. Ìdí nìyí tí ìjọba fi gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ amáyédẹrùn lẹ́ka ètò ìrìnnà àti ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera. Wọ́n rọ̀ kó wá láti fi èròǹgbà wa lórí ètò ìṣúná àti àwọn ohun tí ó jẹ wá lógún fún ọdún tó ń bọ̀ ṣọwọ́ sí ìjọba fún ìmúṣiṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀, àkún àpérò ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
Ẹ fẹ́ kí n pàtẹ́wọ́ fún yín àbí? Kábíyèsí ní ká pàtẹ́wọ́ fún ará sísítà mi. Kábíyèsí, thank you, sir. Honorable Commissioner, sir, do you know I did something and someone came to me with this and said, Mr. Man, you didn't get it right. I said, what have I done? Only now I pick now, make you call them the way then they call them. I say, ha, wow. Kabisi, I am saying it again now. I'm going to call it the way I should call it. It is my honor again, Kabisi, to present your son to you, Mr. Kamaldeen Owodiran Oluwadamilola Daudu Oluwoshago. I think I got it right now, Abi. Aha. Someone came to and said, oh, she that and so God will continue to sustain you. So my sister will come now, will coordinate the photo session. Our royal fathers will be joining us. Sir, I'm sure, Commissioner, you want to go down to have the photo session with our royal fathers. We cannot be asking them to come on stage. Lady Aloya, please. I'm sure that is your purview to cover, my dear. Thank you. Our royal fathers, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá wà bóyá kábíyèsí o. DJ, something light on the needs.
Africa, land of blessing. Africa, I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I've traveled all over the sea and over the land. There is no place like Africa to me. Nigeria prove to all
Akibabawa,
that
His Royal Majesty, Alailuwa,
motherland Africa.
Ọba Mudashiru Ajibade Bakari Agbero, the Ranudu of the Mota. Kábíyèsí o, kábíyèsí o, kábíyèsí o.
Africa is my home. The bright sunshine of Nigeria makes me to believe that all over the world there's no place like Africa. Oh, Nigeria is my home. Hey, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Africa is my home.
Ashifa, you should be part of this, our father, sir. You should be part of this, our father, sir.
I'm black and proud.
Please hold on.
I'm proud.
Ashifa is coming as well.
All over the land, I'm over the sea. There is no place like Africa to me. Yeah, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Africa is my home.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our royal fathers, our traditional leaders, the management, the Honorable Commissioner, and other stakeholders. It is at this point I'll be inviting to the microphone the Director, Lagos Bureau of Statistics, Mr. Bashir Temi Tayo Usenyokbe, who will be coordinating the thematic session so that we can understand what's to be done and our contributions at this point. Sir. Thank you very much.
The Royal Fathers, Mojuba Fori Adeu Kábíyèsí o. Once again, my name is Bashir Temitayo Usenyokbe, Director, Lagos Bureau of Statistics. Permit me to stand on already established protocols. We are going to break into sessions. But before we do that, there is going to be an officer who will take all the comments, information, requests, apart from the proposal to be submitted by the Royal Fathers. There is going to be an officer who will come and meet the Royal Fathers on their seats. Furthermore, we have 7 pillars. We have 7 pillars. They are health and environment pillar. The first on my right side, we have health and environment pillar. The second one is security, governance, and finance. Security, governance, and finance. The third one, we have making Lagos a 21st century economy. And the last one is youth engagement, gender equality, and social inclusion. Youth engagement, gender equality, and social inclusion. During the address of the Honorable Commissioner, he made mention of Teams Plus agenda. The plus, together with the teams, are the youth engagement, gender equality, and social inclusion. While on my left side, we have the traffic management and transportation. The next one to that is entertainment and tourism, while the last pillar is education and technology. We have the team leaders for each pillar. Mr. Orojimi and Mrs. Zainab Azan, they are in charge of traffic management and transportation. Traffic management and transportation. Ms. Ogbenisi and Mr. Kamal, they are in charge of health and environment. Ms. Akisoya and Mrs. Adamson, they are in charge of education and technology. Mr. Olowonishaye Said and Mr. Olumide Ajao, they are in charge of making Lagos a 21st century economy. Mr. Barua Basit and Mrs. Abdullahi, they are in charge of entertainment and tourism. Mr. Lawal and Mr. Omolare, they are in charge of security, governance, and finance. While an officer will be attached to youth engagement, gender equality, and social inclusion. Nǹkan tí à ń wí nìyí pé a máa lọ sí àwọn ìsọ̀rí tí mo ti dárúkọ wọ̀nyí, àwọn nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera àti nípa agbègbè tá mọ̀ sí health and environment, nípa ètò ìdáàbòbò, ìṣètò ìjọba àti nípa ìnáwó ní ilé ìjọba, ìyẹn la mọ̀ sí security, governance and finance. Making Lagos a 21st century economy nípa ọrọ̀ ajé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, the youth engagement nípa àwọn ọ̀dọ́, nípa ètò ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin àti ọkùnrin, ipe what a man can do, a woman can also do it. Àti nípa social inclusion, we are talking of the social protection tí ìjọba ti ṣètò sínú òfin. Nítẹ̀síwájú, traffic management nípa ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ ní ìlú Èkó, multi-modal integrated transportation system, ọkọ̀ ìrìnlẹ̀, ọkọ̀ ojú irin àti ọkọ̀ orí omi. Entertainment and tourism, àwọn bíi Nollywood. You can see that the Bollywood, they are part of the Indian economy. They are making great billions of dollars for the economy of India. And we can do the same for Lagos as a city, as a center of excellence, in order to encourage our tourism. And tourism is multi-facet look, that there will be roads, there will be transport, there will be housing, there will be all in one-stop shop we contain in the tourism. While the education and technology nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti nípa ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé. So ní ìsìn a máa pínra wa síbi tí a bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, tí ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìjọba kí wọ́n ṣe fún wa, tí ẹ fẹ́ kọ́ ṣe ní ipa ètò ìṣúná ọdún tó ń bọ̀. What we are saying is that we want the request. In making the request, you should mention the request and the location where you want government to do intervention for you. And you should also remember that the Teams Plus agenda of the present administration nípa gbogbo àwọn òpó méje tí mo ti kà síwájú nísìnyí àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ olórí àwọn òpó kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n ti ń dúró dè wá. So nísìnyí àwọn kábíyèsí wa máa wà níkàlẹ̀ wọ́n máa wá gba nípa nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kíjọba ṣe. Apart from the proposal, you could have additional information, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The coordinators of each pillar, we advise that the coordinators of each pillar should await the participants at this forum. 1, traffic management and transportation. We have Mr. Orojimi and Mrs. Zainab Azan. Health and environment. We have Ms. Ogbenusi and Mr. Kamal. Yes, please. I want the coordinators to raise up your hands whenever I call your name, so that the participants will be able to identify whom they are going to meet at those pillars. Mr. Orojimi and Mrs. Zainab Azan, please kindly raise up your hand. It's okay. That's for traffic management and transportation. For health and environment, Ms. Ogbenusi and Mr. Kamal, kindly raise up your hands. The third one is education and technology, Ms. Akisoya and Mrs. Adamson. Ms. Akisoya and Mrs. Adamson, they are at the extreme of my left side. Mr. Olowonishaye Said and Mr. Olumide Ajao, making Lagos a 21st century economy. They are here. Mrs. Abdullahi is for entertainment and tourism. Mrs. Abdullahi is for entertainment and tourism. While Mr. Lawal and Mr. Omolare, they are for security, governance, and finance. They are here. I will come. Yeah, Mr. Muiwa. Yeah. We have Mr. Muiwa and Mr. Muhyiddin for youth engagement, gender equality, and social inclusion. They are on my extreme right side. Thank you and God bless. You can start moving to various pillars of the Teams Plus agenda. Thank you and God bless.
Please, distinguished eminent guests, in view of some concern that KBC will have to take his leave now to attend to some state matters, we will please request the Honorable Commissioner, the PS, the entire manager, top notch, to please step down for KBC to present their, to make their presentation of their demands. KBC.
My Honorable Commissioner, I don't intend to keep you waiting while I'm presenting my papers. I would like you to sit down. Then, okay. Moki Bobole, Moki Bobo Awata Wambi by Lodun to Koja, Tatu Wambi by Lodun, Amadu Washu, Wadun, Ayowaku. My presentation is a kind of repetition of what we have been presenting for the past 3 years. And some of this presentation, I took it upon myself to have written to Mr. Governor, copy of the attached, and some concerned people of a community is attached here. This is photocopy of those documents. I'm going to give it to you. Then, what we have for this year is listed. Is a kind of repetition of what we have last year. And the then Commissioner of Budget signed for me, which I'm going to ask you to sign that you receive a copy from me. This is the copy. The original is supposed to be for you, and then you acknowledge this one for me. Thank you very much. I have presented this one last year or year before. I'm presenting it to you. It's well documented. A copy is with the Mr. Governor. That is your copy. Observations for today's, with what you've been able to tell us, what the government have been doing, we appreciate it. We understand the situation. But what we think we need more in Lagos State is for Mr. Governor to put, we've been asking, but with you being there, you will enforce it for us in Lagos State. We need special status for Lagos State. It's a demand that we deserve it. They should pay for it. If you don't ask, we will not be given. So that is one. Then fire service stations. We have only one in Ikorodu, and that one is far away in Odogunyo. We've been talking about it, that we have some extension of land at the corridor of Lagos State University along Itamaga. The land is there. Other peoples are just making some use of it, and they are not making use of it in the proper way. That land is there. We can make use of it to create a fire service station at that corridor. It goes to Imota, it goes to Ijede, it goes to Ibobo, and it comes down to Ikorodu. So it is at a centrally located area if they can make the fire service for us. Then, on special request, it's a big project, but if you can put it in plan, and it will be easier. We have seen the one Mr. Governor has done from Mile 2 to Marina, the rail line. But if we can have one at the corridor of BRT from Ikorodu to Yaba, it will take a whole lot of BRT buses. The train will move from that Ikorodu to Yaba and connect other one to Marina. It's going to help us a lot. So that is my observations, and that is what I want to add to my request. May God be with you. I want to congratulate you once again, and I wish Mr. Governor a very good tenure in the office. Ikorodu will continue to try. We've been giving you the support. We made the impact during the election. We should reciprocate such a thing back to us. Particularly, the largest industrial estate is in Ikorodu at Odogoyon. We've been talking about it, and it's there on the paper. We need the road. We can attract taxes. We can generate funds from that corridor. You need to visit the place. Mr. Governor have visited the place with the vice president, then the vice president, and one minister at that time that they promised to do it. Please, we want you to do something about that. It's more than 7 years we've been talking about that area. The community has written, I have written, everything is there. May God be with you. Thank you very much. My other colleague wants to say one or two things.
Your Honorable Commissioner, I am Obaji Badebakarago, the Ranudo of Fimota, where I have the biggest rice mill in Africa. The rice mill is there, but we want the state government. I'll put this in writing and I'll bring it personally. There is a market they had scheduled for that place. We have the industry. We want the government to come and open that market. It has been partially built. So we want the state government to come and complete the market now. When they produce, they go to the market and turn Imota into another economic hub in Nigeria. That's all. I'm still coming. I will come with this thing.
Honorable Commissioner, permit me to use this opportunity to congratulate you on your appointment. It's good that we are meeting today. I'll first of all start with my observation for today's event. I've always been an agitator of all-inclusive consultation. It has been my observation over the years that when we are organizing something like this, there must be synergy between all the government ministries. I always emphasize that. So where we have an event like this, talking about local, and we cannot find the council chairman or the local government chairman, it's still a minus for an event like this. We want them to be part and parcel of the agreement. Please note it for subsequent. And I have listed requirements and agitation of some of the communities located within the Gogobaiko LCDAs. Load and everything is here. So I want you to please take it and have a look at it and let it be part of whatever you already have with you as part of. And again, talking about roads, and you said fiber laying and whatever. Well, we have seen it all over Lagos. But my observation regarding that is that you see workers laying this fiber on roads that when reconstruction starts on that road, it will be pulled out. It will be destroyed again. So why I'm saying this is that let there be synergy between the ministry in charge of that and the Ministry of Works and even the local government so that we can have fat wastage within the economic system. Thank you.
Honorable Commissioner, we have listened to all you have said and your presentation and what my other colleague has said. Please, there's something that I feel is missing. Some years back, we have a project they call Ikorodu Master Plan. Some of us and a host of us, we have kind of key into that project, believing that whenever they are executing the plan, it will affect, it will have positive impact
on all the community in Ikorodu in terms of road infrastructure and other infrastructures. Please, I have a lot of things to write, but unfortunately, actually, I got information about this meeting just this morning. Please, I will not mind if there is anyone we can get in touch with via our presentation. Please, I will take your number and will address, send a letter to you. Thank you so much, sir. All right. No, that's not my number. Just write it there. I will write your own number. I'll call you. Thank you so much, my honorable commissioner.
Kabesi, thank you very much. So, Kabesi, we always invite the local government. So I'm surprised they're not here. So we are about the one as well that they should. Well, we always invite them. We always invite them. We will, sir. And we will. And on the Ikorodu master plan, I believe it's been approved. Yeah, it's been. Yeah. I will know, sir. We are going to take
Wọ́n ti fẹ́ máa